on, everybody? Appreciate everyone for coming in and hanging out tonight during the Hyperspace Hangout episode number 3. Can't believe it's episode number 3 already. That's pretty freaking awesome. Time is flying by. And yeah, been having a lot of fun doing Star Wars stuff, making content, making videos, hanging out with people on live streams. So yeah, thanks for being here. Looks like we got 2 people in the live stream with me. We got Eternal Mother. Hello, Mama. How's it going? Thanks for being here and hanging out. Appreciate you so much. And yeah, it is a nice Friday night. Hopefully it's this is going to be different from my usual streams. Usually I stream on Thursday nights, and I found that there was a very big Star Wars channel that was streaming every Thursday pretty much, and they have like 70,000 subscribers. So I just felt that moving it over to a different day might help with the viewership here on the Hyperspace Hangout. But we'll see. So this is the first Friday Hangout that we're doing. Appreciate everyone for stopping by and being here on your Friday night. And if, there's not too many people, that's totally understandable. This is just kind of testing the waters to see where we're at. So before we get into what we're going to get into tonight, I just wanted to thank everybody. Welcome you all to the Hyperspace Hangout live stream. Appreciate you all for tuning in while the stream is live. And for those who are not able to make it, much gratitude for catching the replay. And if you can, be sure to like the video. And if you aren't already subscribed to Star Wars Collective, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, right on. So, yeah, I got a couple things to go over tonight, couple different segments. And first off is Rebel Recap. We're just going to go over some of the Black Series news that happened over the past week here. And then the fan stream news from the past Hasbro fan stream. This is specifically a Star Wars fan stream, so we'll be able to go over some of those characters and see if people are going to want to pick those up or not. And then finally, we will rank the lightsaber battles, and that sounds like it's going to be a great time. So looking forward to that, and that'll be helped. We'll do that with help from the chat. Get all the lightsaber battles ranked accordingly. So, yeah, and then we'll finish it off with a little Black Series debate and recent pickups and Tatooine talk and the show discussion. So, we do have 2 people in here so far. Appreciate you 2 people for hanging out and being here. And let's see here. Let's get into Rebel Recap. Rebel Recap we have. This is actually brand new Star Wars news. Just recently released by Luke from the channel Lukeness Monster. He just released this stuff a couple hours ago. So we're for sure getting a Revenge of the Sith Anakin Skywalker, which we already knew, but that's going to for sure be coming. We've seen his belt, so that'll be really cool to be able to check that out. Hopefully he's going to be hard goods. I'm not a soft goods person, as you all know. I've said it a few times here on the channel. I prefer characters that have that hard plastic goods bottom. That's just more my style. I think it looks better overall. So, hopefully Anakin Skywalker will come with hard goods and not soft goods, but to each their own. The second one is Cal Kestis. He's going to come with the handlebar mustache on his face sculpt. And that I think is pretty cool. It's kind of one of the more funny looks for Cal. But in the game, you could put on a myriad of different styles of hair and facial hair and outfits and stuff. So I think this is kind of more of like a silly, fun Cal that we're going to get. And that's pretty cool, honestly. So second would be the Cal Kestis with handlebar mustache on the face sculpt. Will it have a mullet or not? That is one of the hairstyles that you could get in the Jedi Survivor game, was the Cal Kestis with the mullet and the handlebar mustache. So, also it's possible that he will be coming in with a 2-pack with Marin, and sounds like a great lineup. Eternal Mother says yes, indeed. I think it will be a great lineup. Some of this stuff is going to be really cool coming up. I'm really excited for Marin. She was a really cool character. I think they're going to be putting her out in the Jedi Survivor style outfit. So overall, one of the, maybe not the coolest outfit, but a cool outfit of Marin was the Jedi Survivor look. Be really cool to have a Night Sister in the line, right? So maybe that'll be coming in a 2-pack with Cal Kestis, Jedi Cal and Marin. We'll see. Third is Jango Fett. Not much else to say. We've seen, I think, his belt pack, and that's about it from Jango Fett so far. But we'll be getting a new Jango Fett sometime in the line, so expect that. That's going to be pretty freaking awesome. I can't wait for that. And then number 4 is called just Star Wars Black Series Virgo. That's kind of going to be like the code name, I guess. It's going to be a vehicle rumor going for about $69.99. So is it going to be an ATRT? Is it going to be another speeder? I don't know. That seems kind of pricey for a speeder, but overall we'll see. By the way, chat, let me know how the audio sounds. If it's clean, if it's clear, if you can hear me, that's great. But just let me know what you guys think of the audio. So yeah, number 4 would be a Black Series vehicle. So who's stoked for that? I think that'll be pretty cool to see another Black Series vehicle. I think recently all we've gotten is the Black Series Sith Speeder and the Black Series Stap. So always stoked for more Black Series vehicles, and yeah, it is a little bit pricey, but I think that we need more representation for vehicles in the line, and this is just another cool way to potentially get something that we've all wanted. I do have a theory that it could also be potentially a like an Anakin Starfighter or Obi-Wan like Jedi Starfighter. That might be something that the Black Series would put out, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. And let's go say what's up to chat. We got Brian in the house. What's up, Brian? Thanks for making it. Hopefully you can check out the whole stream if you're at work. And if you're off, then hope you're having a good chill night over there. And it's Friday. I've switched up the stream to see if it'll accommodate a little bit more for people. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, Brian. I appreciate that. Mama says, what's up to Brian, Eternal Mother? Brian says hello back. Audio is good. Audio sounds perfect. All right, cool. Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you so much for saying that. So yeah, that finishes it off for the Rebel recap. Just real quick, just going over the Black Series and what we have coming up. Folks like Monday Night Figure Ball, Stone Mandalorian, and the guys from Out of the Basement, they've all done pretty much the coverage of like all the recent Black Series stuff. So that's just new stuff that I saw that came out today before the stream. So I wanted to include that there. I'm off, kicked back in recliner. Nice, man. Right on. Glad you're off. Hope you have a good chill night. And thanks for tuning in to the stream again. So next up we can get into it, is the Star Wars fan series, or the fan stream news. This stuff is pretty cool. Let me get my slides ready to go here. First off, we have Moff Gideon. He is going to be number 44 in the line, and he will be available for pre-order on March 5th at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this honestly is going to be a pass for me. It is a character it is a figure with a removable helmet. So overall, I'm just going to be probably not into removable helmets as much. The fact that I've gotten at least one character with a removable and alternate head has just kind of sealed the deal for me on wanting figures to come with removable alternate heads. I think that they can do that. I think it would look way better. Some of the removable head stuff is just not ideal, especially with the bottom of the chin poking out, right? It just looks kind of weird. And then them gluing helmets on top of heads sometimes can warp the head and the overall makes the overall figure look kind of clunky or bulky or whatever in the head and kind of misshapen. So I'm all for alternate head sculpts. I think those win all the day and take the cake over removable helmets, but that's just me. So that's why I'm passing on this figure here. We got Stone Mandalorian in the chat. He's in the house. What's up, Stone? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for hopping in. Hope you're having a great night. So we got Eternal Mother saying hello to Stone. We got Mama C saying hello to Stone. That's Mom. And then Stone says what's up to Eternal Mother back. So yeah, that's the first one. It's Moff Gideon. Expect that next week. A lot of the stuff is available next week for pre-order on the 5th at 1 p.m. So chat, are you guys going to be picking this up? I would like to know if you guys want the Moff Gideon with his kind of Imperial Dark Trooper armor. And he's going to come with his Vibro Spear. He has a long one, and then he's also coming with a shorter Vibro Spear as well. So, I mean, pretty cool weapons, but yeah, chat, what are you guys doing? Are you guys going to be picking this up, or are you guys going to pass on Moff Gideon and the Imperial Dark Trooper armor? We got Brian saying what's up to Cody. Stone says what's up back to Brian. Yeah, so I'm passing on this. Let me know what you guys say in the chat. Chat's popping off a little bit. We got Connor in here. He says, hey guys, what's up, Mr. Connor Colarusso? Thanks for coming in and hanging out, man. Hope you're feeling better. I'm glad you're able to go back and do your thing at Disney Springs and Universal Studios and all that stuff. Brian has already pre-ordered the entire wave that I'm about to go into. That is pretty freaking awesome. Holy cow, Brian. You got on the early pre-order then. So that's pretty cool. We got chat saying hello to each other. Always love the chat. These people are awesome. Stone saying what's up. Connor, missed you too, Connor. Glad to see you back in here, buddy. Your Blurg review is killer. That thing is so cool. I actually really want one of those now. So I'm going to have to keep an eye out on Amazon if they have those still. We got Eternal Mother saying hello to Connor. Yep, glad Connor's feeling better. Hello, may the force be with you too, Christina. How you doing? Hope you're having a good night over there and enjoying your time over in the East Coast. So yeah, we got Christina over here in the chat. All right, we're going to keep it moving here. We got the next up is the Imperial Praetorian Guard. Sorry, I didn't get my slides ready for this. There we go. Imperial Praetorian Guard. Oh my gosh. This figure, I was probably the most anticipated for out of this entire line. However, me not being into soft goods, I'm probably going to be passing on this. You know, you guys know me. I wish they could have done some sort of hard goods bottom like they did with Maul here, right? I mean, it's still totally movable. And he can articulate really well, and right, I mean, he can basically do a full splits. So that's something that I really wish they would have done with the Praetorian Guard, is have more of a hard goods kind of bottom part to him. So that's just me. I know people like soft goods a lot. I just think it looks kind of cheap. Unless it's done right. The only two characters that I have, and we'll get into this later in a different segment, the only two characters that I have with soft goods are Malgus, Darth Malgus, and Vader. So two Darths, Vader and Malgus. And so, yeah, Stone says, I'm highly curious what the Black Series vehicle will be. Dude, totally interested into seeing what that's going to be. ATRT? Are we going to get another speeder? What are we going to get for that kind of $70 price range? I think it's going to be really, really cool. So we got chat saying hello back to each other. Hello, hello. The guard looks so awesome, and I'll definitely get him. Nice. Right on. Someone says Praetorian looks sick. Yeah, Connor, it's soft goods. But, I mean, It will technically be good for his articulation and stuff, but I think they still could have pulled it off with more of that hard goods bottom to it. But hey, it is what it is. And yeah, the helmet looks so freaking cool. And he comes with the clave, this picture with the weapon in the picture, and also that whip sword as well. So highest price range on these figures, Christina, they're running for about $24.99. They're called the Star Wars Black Series figures. They're action figures, and they're collected a lot by adults, but they're made for all ages really. So yeah, it is a cool helmet, huh, Mama C? That would be cool to have a helmet like that if they came out with one of those. So okay, is chat picking this up? I forgot to say. I'm sure we got a couple people that said yes, I saw, but I'll be wondering if the rest of the chat will be picking this guy up. Next up we have, I'm going to get the slide ready, is Cassian Andor in the Sinar Test Pilot, the TIE Fighter pilot outfit. This is going to be same thing, available for pre-order on March 5th at 1 p.m. I think this looks really cool. It is a removable helmet, so we'll see if it suffers from removable helmet syndrome, aka the bulky kind of helmet, or if they'll nail it. Sometimes they do. Do I wish it was an alternate head? Of course, but I can always see that that's just going to cost more money for Hasbro, and that makes them slightly less likely to do it. Stone says, passing on this, but it looks great. I'm just picky because I'm saving up for the con. Yeah, no, that makes sense, Stone. I totally get that, man. Got to save up, and I'm sure they're going to have a ton of great figures when it comes to ICCC. So you'll have a lot of cool abilities to get figures, and I hear that even after the con and like the hotel sales are even some of the best. So I am going to be passing on Moff Gideon, Stoned, since you're asking. I'm also going to be passing on the Praetorian Guard, most likely because of the soft goods robes on the bottom, or the soft goods bottom. But I probably will get the TIE Fighter pilot. I think that's pretty cool. The other cool thing about the TIE Fighter pilot, guys and gals, is you can troop build it. So once the helmet is on, it's actually Cassian Andor underneath, but once the helmet is on, you can't really even tell who it's going to be, so, or who's underneath. So he's totally in disguise, and I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely. So, but there are a couple more on this list that I am going to snag, so I will get on moving with the list. Speaking of, let's get the slide up here. And thanks everybody for joining in. We got 5 people here in the chat. We have gotten up to 7. Appreciate everyone for hanging out. Next person up we have is director Orson Krennic. Same thing, available for pre-order next week, the 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is director Orson Krennic here. The cool thing about this, the reason why I want to pick this one up, is his cape thing that he's got. I know you can't see my mouse, but his cape thing that he's got is a hard goods. So it's going to be just like the Princess Leia kind of hood here. So I really like that. I think that's awesome. And looking from the promo shots of the fan stream, these look epic. This figure looks epic, at least. A lot of these figures do, but this figure looks really cool and definitely is going to be a pickup for me. What about you, chat? Are you guys going to be snagging director Orson Krennic and pre-ordering him? Connor says he wants a Black Series TIE Fighter. Oh my gosh, that would be freaking epic, Connor. I think they did actually make a TIE Fighter at one point, and now the aftermarket price is pretty high. So they definitely need to make another one, because I would buy that. That would be a really cool vehicle to have. Hell yeah, Connor, we need an OT version. We do, yeah, because I think it's a first order a first order TIE Fighter from The Force Awakens. So yeah, that Cassian Andor pilot would be sick with a TIE Fighter. So Yeah, who's picking up Krennic? I'm definitely picking him up. I think he's going to look really great, especially his updated kind of photo reel. Um, Thanks, appreciate that, Stoned. And Brian says that I think he has the First Order TIE fighter pilot. Ugh, the TIE pilot. Sorry, the TIE fighter. Oh my goodness. I'm stumbling over my words tonight, guys. Sorry. And it's huge. So I can only imagine that the Black Series scale, the that the TIE fighter would be massive. So anyway. Okay. Next on from the fan stream is Count Dooku and the Revenge of the Sith packaging. This is starting to be some of the figures from the Walmart exclusive. So this is going to be the first one from that Walmart exclusive line. I'm definitely going to pick up Count Dooku. I do not have him in the line. And even though he does come with the soft goods cape, I'll make an exception because it is a cape. And it actually does look fairly good. So I know I'm kind of going back on what I said about not liking soft goods. But again, the only two figures that I have with soft goods are Malgus and Vader, and they have soft goods capes. So sometimes you just can't get around it. And I don't have Count Dooku, and I really think that he would be a great addition. So yeah, English is hard, Stone. Tongue twister for sure. And Stone says he's definitely picking it up. Sorry, I forgot to put the Count Dooku slide up. There we go. Count Dooku, there he is. Brian's already pre-ordered most of these, so that's a pickup from him. Stone says, yeah, his soft goods is pretty decent. Could be better for sure, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. Yeah, I mean, looks like it comes with the chain and the brown cape, and I'm fine. I'm here for that. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Now, could they have made it a hard goods kind of cape like this figure has? They totally could have, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I think most collectors prefer soft goods as it is. So, and Stone says that it's such a good figure. Nice, man. Right on. Well, I'm glad to be able to hopefully add this to the collection. So, let's see. Let me get my next slide up here. Boom. So next up we got Kit Fisto, the alien Kit Fisto Jedi alien. This was definitely a pickup. He looks so freaking cool, and he's going to be coming in just like Count Dooku and some of the other figures here. He's going to be coming in that Revenge of the Sith card back blister. So that'll be pretty epic to be able to have that. And that's a total throwback. I think that was back to like when those figures came out, or when they had that figures, Revenge of the Sith figures that has come out in, I think 2005 came on those older card backs. So that's going to be pretty cool. Definitely going to pick up Kit Fisto. Who in the chat is snagging Kit Fisto? I think most people are, if you don't have him already, that is. Stone says it's starting to get pricey on the aftermarket. Hard to find them under $40 to $45. I think he's still talking about Count Dooku, but yeah, man. Great way to get him into the line. Yeah, for sure. Great way to get folks into the line. Brian snagging. Yep. Stone to snagging 2 of Kit Fisto. Okay, nice. Right on. Heck yeah. Way to represent, man. Yeah, I'll definitely be snagging him. He looks super cool. And they're both getting pricey on the aftermarket. So I'm glad that newer collectors like myself are going to be able to have access to them. That's pretty sweet. So Kit Fisto, everybody. Next up, we have R2-D2 Classic R2. He's going to be coming in the Revenge of the Sith packaging. He is a Walmart exclusive, just like Count Dooku and Kit Fisto are. Now, the one thing about R2 that is different from some of the recent releases are he has on the sides of his arms these detachable and attachable spots where you can put these thrusters. So like when he was in Revenge of the Sith and he oil slicked those super battle droids, he will have basically thrusters, or like in Attack of the Clones, when he flew down and through the droid assembly factory, they're blue flamed jet thrusters. So that'll be pretty cool and kind of different for this R2. Again, he will be coming in the Revenge of the Sith packaging. And he, I think, is going to be the last Walmart exclusive for now from the Black Series. And that is pretty sweet. Brian says he already has all of the Revenge of the Sith figs, but ordering these and keeping them on card because they come in that special Revenge of the Sith card back. I can see that. That's awesome. Right on, Brian. That's going to be so cool, man. You'll definitely have to even just do a video showing off the Revenge of the Sith card backs and showing which ones you have. I think that would be a cool video. Next up, we have last basically news from the fan stream is the 501st Legion helmet from Revenge of the Sith, because it is the Revenge of the Sith 25th anniversary. This is going to be a special helmet, right? The 501st Legion is very popular, very known for going to the Jedi Temple and taking out a lot of the Jedi during Order 66. So this helmet I will be passing on. I have enough helmets. There is one back here. It's going to be the Commander Gree helmet. And then I also have a Scout Trooper helmet as well. So, but this thing is very iconic, and I can see a lot of people wanting this, especially if they've done previous releases. Then finally, other people are going to have the opportunity to get this into their collection of helmets if you collect Black Series helmets, or just to get into collecting because it's so iconic. So, overall, I would love to know what chat thinks. Are you guys going to be picking up the helmets? I don't know if as many people are into the helmets as like collecting figures. I would say no. But yeah, what do you guys think? Are you guys going to be picking up the 501st Legion Clone Trooper helmet? It's going to be releasing sometime in spring 2025. All right. Okay. Well, that just about does it for the Star Wars fan stream news. Let's see. There's the chat there. Brian says he's passing on the helmet. Yeah, I don't blame you, Brian. I really don't blame you. It's a cool helmet, but if you're not into collecting helmets in general, I think it's an overall pass. So, pretty cool there. I would like to get into a Black Series debate. The first ever here on the Hyperspace Hangout. And we are going to be jumping into some stuff that I've just been kind of going over this entire stream. And that is going to be soft goods versus non-soft goods on figures. Okay. That's going to be a next topic of the next segment is soft goods versus non-soft goods on figures. So I've already shown this off here. I'm just gonna take this hood off. It's getting a little warm, but as you can see, this is Darth Maul, and he has. Oh, I should probably get big again. Go take this down. There we go. So Darth Maul, he has. On this version, there's two different versions. There's the Sith Speeder that has soft goods on the bottom, and then there is the Phantom Menace 3-pack and the single-release version of Darth Maul that comes with hard goods on the bottom. And the hard goods you can move, I feel like, really well, especially if they do like flowy robes. You can put cuts so that there's like almost like two different layers to the overall. Oh, there goes his lightsaber. Two different layers to the overall sculpt. And you can still get great articulation. I mean, boom, he's doing the splits right there. No problem at all. So overall, I would love to see characters come more with kind of like separated robes, especially, you know, if it's like some of the Jedis and stuff like that. I know this figure isn't exactly loved in the community, but Baylan Skoll is another good example, and he's having a beverage there. some blue milk in the cantina. And he's got the same thing. He's got a split kind of bottom part to his tunic. And that still allows for great articulation in the character. He can still kick up, well overall, right? So soft goods bottoms don't need to be, they just don't need to be applied to every single character, in my opinion, but that's just me. Here's another one. We got Princess Leia. She's got a hard molded plastic, kind of sculpted plastic hood, and the bottom of her dress here opens up, and you guessed it, she can do the splits there as well. Can't kick up too well. If it was split again down the middle, then it would add for a little bit better articulation in the leg, but still overall, still good and can articulate. So there's 3 figures that can still articulate really well. I'm going to check in with chat here. Hi from the UK. 501st is a must for me. Gutted I missed out on that Gree and the 187th one too. Only missing 6 helmets. Well, what's up, Carl Newton? Thanks for coming by and hanging out in the Hyperspace Hangout. That means a lot. Appreciate you so much. And that's cool that you're a big helmet collector, and that you're going to snag the 501st helmet, at least to be able to get that one. The Commander Green one sold out so fast, this guy right here. And the 187th Legion, the Mace Windu purple helmet, I imagine went pretty quickly as well. So the fact that you're only missing 6 is still pretty impressive. And I'm sure if you really wanted to, you could get those extra helmets to add to your collection. So, hey, appreciate you again, Carl, for stopping by. First time seeing you in the chat. And thanks again. I really appreciate that. Brian says, I could see Balin pounding a beer at the local cantina. Exactly. That's exactly what he's doing. He's having some spotchka. R.I.P. Ray Stevenson. So, that's kind of just what I was trying to get into, is figures that have more sculpted goods, right? Eternal Mother says, hello, Carl. And we have Uncle Doug in the chat. Well, what do we have here? We have an Uncle Doug in our presence. Welcome, Uncle Doug. This is the Hyperspace Hangout. I'm your host, Jacob. And we got some people that you'll find familiar in the chat, we'll say. We got Stone Mandalorian, we've got Gen X Brian, we've got Connor Colarusso, we've got some new faces in here, Carl, Eternal Mother's in here hanging out with us as usual. So, yeah, Doug, appreciate you for coming in. Doug says, hello, friends. Hello, Doug. Thanks again for coming in here and hanging out with us tonight on Friday. Carl says, hi, guys, to everyone. Everyone's saying what's up to Doug. And Gen X Brian says, hey to Carl. Connor says, what's up, Doug? Uncle Doug in the house. So that's kind of, here, this is Kiati. He's got a sculpted hood. This is just kind of what I was talking about. One figure I think that it was done really well was the Darth Sidious. He had a sculpted head, plastic hood with soft goods on the bottom. Wasn't too stoked on the soft goods on the bottom, but the sculpted plastic hood gives me hope for future figures, and that they will be able to come through and give us, I don't even think we really have a figure that has full hard goods on through the entirety of them, but hey, here's to hoping. Now, one figure that does execute this really well that I'll show off for my recent pickup is Dagan Gera. He's got a sculpted hood. His hair fits nicely inside of the hood there, as you can see. And he's also got a nice sculpted kind of back cape to him. And this is one of the reasons why I picked up this figure, is I think it looks phenomenal. It doesn't look cheap. Soft goods, in my opinion, just looks a little bit... Oh, sorry, there's a car alarm going off if you can hear that. Soft goods sometimes can just look a little cheap. I don't know what it is. It's like the fabric quality maybe could be a little bit better, and it wouldn't look as Mundane definitely isn't the right word. I'm at a loss for words tonight. I'm sorry. It just doesn't look as great as it could. Some figures, like I said, Darth Malgus, his head has a soft goods hood that goes over, and that looks phenomenal. But they don't always. Like this Darth Maul here came with soft goods robes, and I wasn't super into the soft goods robes there. So I took it off, and I'm thrilled with how he looks now. Again, he can still articulate extremely well and do what you need him to do. So hopefully, Hasbro, if you're watching, this will be a become a staple for more characters, less soft goods. That's why I'm passing on some of the stuff like the Praetorian Guard. That's why I'd be picking up some of the stuff like Director Krennic, which we just went over some of those figures, and passing on others. So let's turn it over to the chat. I'd love to know what you all think about a soft goods on figures, and if you're for it, or if you are not for it, because I'm not anti soft goods. I think that everybody should have what they like. I think that if you really want, the throne set. Doug picked up the new throne set. He said it looks good in the box. Right on, Doug. Is that the Emperor Palpatine throne set? Right on. That's awesome, Doug. Let me know if you need a soft goods robe for that, an actual good version, because I had an archive Palpatine with the fully stitched robe, and it's just sitting in a bag with a bunch of other soft goods. So, okay, here we go. Carl Newton. He says, I have to say that I do prefer soft goods and don't mind doing a bit of work on them when they don't land right. Okay, cool. This is exactly what I wanted to talk about with the chat, is some people are able to get the soft goods to lay well on their figures, and it does look pretty good. I have to admit, I've taken a couple good photos of Ahsoka, specifically with the Shin Hati brown cloak that she comes with, the figure, and it looks incredible on Ahsoka. She looks so cool, and it should have came with that figure from the get-go. Now, I don't mind that it didn't come with a cloak. I know a lot of people wanted her to come with her Ahsoka the white like poncho cloak thing, but I can definitely see them releasing that for when Ahsoka Season 2 drops. So never fear, soft goods lovers. I'm sure that'll be coming. But here Carl says that he doesn't mind soft goods and doesn't mind doing a bit of work on them when they don't land right, which is, I think, what you have to do. You definitely have to tweak it and mess with it a little bit to get it to look well. My entire collection, aside from Vader and Malgus, have soft goods. So otherwise, I would probably have more soft goods on my characters, but yeah, I just maybe can't get it to land right, and that's just me, and I'll have to work with that. Doug has the archive. Okay, good. Perfect. Right on, Doug. And then Gen X Brian says, I prefer plastic, but not against soft goods. I don't like soft goods hoods. I think that's where we agree, Brian, is the soft goods hoods for sure don't sit well. Unless it's the Darth Malgus figure, then we're talking thumbs up there. But otherwise, yeah, not. I just don't think they look very well. If the fabric maybe could be a little bit better quality, then we'd have a different story on our hands. And then Connor Colarusso says, I agree with you, Jacob. I'm not a fan of soft goods. They attract pet hair and dust and are harder to clean, and I don't like how it feels. But it's not a total deal breaker. Right. You can always usually just remove the soft goods from the character and have a really good figure that has nice, sculpted looks, just like Darth Maul here. And this is an awesome figure. If you don't already have Maul, definitely go and snag him. And his brother Savage Press is getting released, I think sometime next month. So if you don't have Savage pre-order Savage. He's a lot bigger and bulkier of a guy than Darth Maul is. Darth Maul is on the smaller side. So, right on. Very cool. Well, I'm very glad that we were able to talk about soft goods and non-soft goods and kind of get the feel for what people think. Again, This is one of my recent pickups, but I thought that this was executed excellently. The cape, the hood, everything on it looks awesome, and it's all hard goods, even this kind of like bottom, piece of tassel on his tunic. So, okay. Well, we got some people in the chat. We've got 6 people so far in here. We've been bouncing around. We've been going live for about 40 minutes. Who is ready to get into the meat of the episode and do some lightsaber ranking, lightsaber battles ranked? Let's get into that, I think. I think it's time. First things first, there are a total of 10 different lightsabers, lightsaber battles. Let's get this up on the screen here. I'm actually going to change the style here. Boom, there we go. So we have Anakin versus Obi-Wan. We have Windu versus Palpatine. Obi-Wan versus Vader, A New Hope. Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi. Duel of the Fates. So Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul. Luke versus Vader, Empire Strikes Back. Yoda versus Sidious. Dooku versus Yoda. Annie versus Obi versus Dooku. And then Kylo and Rey. Kylo versus Rey. So that's what we're going to have going tonight on our lightsaber battles ranked. Doug says, that's no moon. That's a space station. Exactly, Doug. So, yes, let me get my slides in order here. I don't do screen sharing on my computer, but I probably should. And give me just 1 second, chat, to get my slides ready to go. If you want, say what's up to each other in the chat for now. All right. So first up, we have Annie versus Obi. This is going to be probably one of the favorite lightsaber battles, I would say. What do you guys think? I would like to hear everybody's thoughts and comments on what your thoughts about Annie versus Obi is. Let's check in with the chat here. Brian says, oh man, this is going to be tough. It's all right. We're all going to work together and we're going to figure this out because this is a definitely cool topic. And I would love to get into the meat and potatoes of it all with you. Stone says, what up, Doug? Dude, we need a Revenge of the Sith, Annie and Obi so bad. I know, seriously. I'm so excited for them. Just because I don't have any Anakins, and the only Obi that I have is from the Duel of the Fates from Phantom Menace. So definitely need that Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. He looks so cool. And yeah, couldn't agree more, Stone. When is that going to come out? Hopefully, I would say it's going to drop sometime in summer or fall. Stone says, top 3 best duels ever. Totally agreed. Eternal Mother, Annie versus Obi was hard to watch. Yeah, that is a tough battle for sure. So I definitely would see that being probably number 1 or number 2. But let's go into the next one here. And then at the end, we're all going to rank this stuff together. Again, we'll go over this master list here, and then I will rank what chat says. I will rank 1, 2, 3, and so on, and we'll get all this ranked. This is just an order that I wrote out to figure out what the list was going to be. So Annie versus Obi. Next one we have is Windu versus Palpatine. This is definitely a very important lightsaber duel. Honestly, if it wasn't for Anakin coming in and messing things up, I think Palpatine would have met his demise by Windu. Honestly, it was looking that way. So we got Tyler Darafield in the chat. What's up, Tyler? First time seeing your name in here. Thanks for coming to hang out in the Hyperspace Hangout. He says they're dropping Revenge of the Sith Anakin. They are. We just don't know when. It's just a speculation right now as to when that's going to be coming out. But that has been rumored for a while. Earlier in the stream, I did go over some leaks that Lukeness Monster had just dropped, and the Anakin belt was one of those first leaks. And so I'm just super stoked and can't wait for the Revenge of the Sith Anakin. But we are going to be getting it, Tyler. And again, thanks for hanging out in the chat, bud. Ooh, we need Ahsoka versus Maul from Clone Wars, surely. That would be really cool, too. But right now, I am just doing the battles from the movies from here. Otherwise, the list would be super, super long, and I could only fit around 10 into one banner. So, Tyler says he's happy to be here. Right on, Tyler. Happy to have you, brother. So, next one up we have is, and I'm getting my slides together still, so I appreciate everyone for waiting. All right, next up we have is Obi-Wan versus Vader, A New Hope. So, definitely a sad one. Obi-Wan becomes one with the Force. You know, Darth Vader finally gets his revenge. He does it right in front of Luke. Luke's like right over there in the corner. And he's like, he's going to be so sad. But yeah, this is definitely one of the cool lightsaber battles. This is one of the first ones that we've seen. Right? This is Star Wars 77 or A New Hope, depending on how you call it. And so I think this one definitely should be ranked up there, but we will see what chat thinks. Chat, you are going to be deciding this after all. Brian says this is a classic duel, totally classic, right? One of the first lightsaber duels that we've ever seen. So definitely really awesome, and wouldn't be surprised if it made one of the higher ups in the list. Okay, next up we have is, as my slide is loading, Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi. So, definitely an interesting duel. You know, father versus son. Very, a lot of stakes at the table. The whole kind of galaxy, right? The battle for Endor is happening below them, while the battle between the Sith and the Jedi is happening above in the sky. So it's a pretty cool, kind of correlation there. The two battles, and in the battle of the space battle that's outside. So a lot of going on in this part of the movie, and this is definitely a tumultuous scene. So wouldn't be surprised if this was up there on the list as well. All right, so waiting for my slide to load there. Tyler, love that green lightsaber. I know, right? It was one of the first times that we saw a green lightsaber in the Star Wars movies, was when Luke came out with his green lightsaber. And there was at one point when he, in the deleted scene, was tweaking with it in the cave. So Luke loses his shit. Yeah, he definitely does. Darth Vader mentions Leia, and Luke definitely channels some of that dark side energy for sure. So, okay, next up we have is Duel of the Fates. Fantastic lightsaber duel. Epic music. So, this is definitely in one of my top 3 as far as the stakes of the galaxy and like how much this lightsaber battle means genuinely, especially for Anakin's story. This is a pivotal one. So this definitely, in my opinion, goes up there. Again, we're going to all go over this again, and we'll figure out the order that we want to rank these in. But this was another really great lightsaber duel. This is one of the first ones that I ever saw. My grandpa showed me Phantom Menace, and I remember watching Phantom Menace and seeing this, and it was just blowing my mind, even when I was a little kid. And next up we have is Luke versus Vader, Empire Strikes Back. Very fun scene, very interesting scene from one of the darker Star Wars movies, Empire Strikes Back, that is. And overall, I think that this lightsaber duel, ends up with Luke losing his hand. It ends up with Luke figuring out who his father is and coming to terms with that. So this lightsaber duel is one of the funnest to watch. Christina, did anyone refuse to fight? Yeah, Luke refused to fight at the very end of the battle with Darth Vader here. He actually takes his lightsaber, throws it down, and says, "No, I'm not into the dark side. I'm a Jedi like my father before me." So he and Tyler even is right here. He does save Darth Vader too. So he basically refuses to fight. Darth Vader saves him from the Emperor. The Emperor unleashes a torrent of Force lightning on Luke, but Darth Vader throws him over the ledge, and then Luke saves Vader and ultimately is redeemed at the end, bringing full balance to the Force and fulfilling the prophecy. So yeah, that is one person, Christina, who refused to fight. Who refused to fight was Luke. And Stone says, Duel of the Fates is probably my favorite duel. Absolutely, totally. Stone loves Darth Maul. Speaking of Darth Maul, we got Darth Maul right here. We will at last reveal ourselves to the Jedi. We will at last have revenge. Yep, Darth Maul. Tyler says, Duel of the Fates was my childhood. Had those rubies lightsabers. Okay, Tyler. All right. Nice. I'm guessing you had a Darth Maul one. That's pretty epic. And yeah, it's called Duel of the Fates. Stoned is right. The fight determined Anakin's fate. So I would say that lightsaber duel is definitely up there. Brian says, you nailed it. Epic and the music. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. And yeah, the music in Duel of the Fates is absolutely phenomenal. So, and yeah, shout out to Grandpa for showing me, for introducing me to Star Wars. I wouldn't be here without him showing me Phantom Menace. So shout out to Grandpa. Qui-Gon was the GOAT. Absolutely, he was the GOAT. Grandpa's watching the live, I'm sure. Absolutely, he is, for sure. Oh man, this is tough. This is the first time we see Luke face his father. Vader was toying with him. I know, right? Vader using his one hand, dueling Luke like a freaking G, knocking Luke down the stairs, knocking him off his feet. So, I will never join the dark side. I'm a Jedi, like my father before me. Exactly, Stone. Boom. Bam, respect. Wow, exactly, yeah. Respect to Luke Skywalker, Christina. So, definitely a great role model that a lot of us can look up to. Anakin, maybe not as much due to his time in the Jedi Temple during Order 66. Stone says, shout out to Grandpa Allen. Yep, shout out to you, Grandpa. R.I.P. And we know you're watching Star Wars. So let's continue on with the list here. I'm waiting for my slide to load. Let me just see if it'll open up again. This was such a fun fight and one that I loved when I was a kid and watched Revenge of the Sith in theaters. This is going to be Yoda versus Darth Sidious. Not only are they epic lightsaber duelers, but they're very powerful Force users. So this fight was just so fun to watch. Unfortunately, kind of is a stalemate. Sidious and Yoda don't really win either of them. Yoda gets knocked down all the way, loses his cape, his robe, his lightsaber. Sidious is hanging on with like one hand. So, not a super impactful lightsaber duel, but if it was between Obi-Wan and Yoda, it was Yoda to take him. That's what Yoda said, and he tried his best, I think. But into exile he must go. Failed he has. So, see what the chat says here. Tyler said he had all three of the ruby lightsabers. He was spoiled. Oh my gosh, that's epic, man. I definitely must have missed out on having those when I was a kid, but I did have a really cool Darth Vader at the time. It must have been like a baselit lightsaber. I don't think they had NeoPixel like 15 years ago, but that's pretty cool, Tyler. Stone says, hell yeah, Tyler. Qui-Gon was the shit. That's that's Stone's boy is Qui-Gon. He used to have long hair, just like Qui-Gon did. Oh yeah, man, that was sick. First time we've seen him because Palps looked worried. Yep, he did. Even Palpatine tried to leave. Yep. If so powerful you are, why leave? That's right. I've waited a long time for this moment, my little green friend. Exactly, dude. Honestly, this lightsaber battle is still really, really fun. So we'll have to see where chat ends up wanting to rank that. Next up we have is from Attack of the Clones, one of the only ones. It's Anakin versus Obi. Sorry, Anakin plus Obi-Wan versus Count Dooku. Really quick fight for Anakin at the very beginning, and then even more so for Obi-Wan. And then Anakin comes back with a fury, fights and battles Dooku until he loses his arm, and then Yoda comes in and closes and cleans up house. So again, maybe not one of the best duels for the Jedi representation, but still a fun one nonetheless. And we get to see what happens to Anakin and his arm, and see Dooku just kind of toy with them a little bit. Again, he wasn't really. He probably could have taken them out both a little bit easier, but he was battling Anakin, just kind of tooling with them. So Anakin with the green lightsabers. Yep, exactly. And I think they both got those lightsabers randomly just from Jedi when they were rescued in the Geonosis arena. So I don't think we ever see Anakin with the green lightsaber again after this. So, okay, next one, last one. Kylo versus Rey. Kylo Ren versus Rey from Force Awakens. Had to throw in a sequel lightsaber battle in there, and I think this one would be the one to do it. So we'll have to see what the chat thinks about the Kylo Ren versus the Rey battle and where this stands on the overall ranking. So on the Tyler says boo. I know, I figured we'd be getting that a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. We got to throw them in there, and you can add them into, or you can rank them however you'd like, but this will be a democratic vote, so basically majority vote wins. And basically, here's a rundown of the lightsaber battles. So if you guys want to in the chat start just letting me know from this list what you think should be our number one spot. What is number one? And I will create a brand new banner and we will start ranking these live. So take your time. Let me know what you think as far as those lightsaber duels go. What is number one? We'll just start with that. I can hear keyboards clicking away as we speak. So what do we think? Who is number one? Number one, as far as the lightsaber battles ranked. Brian says Duel of the Fates for number one. Connor says Duel of the Fates for number one. Eternal Mother says Annie versus Obi for number one. Tyler says Duel of the Fates for number one. Carl says Luke versus Vader. Luke versus Vader, ROTJ. Okay, Return of the Jedi. Okay. So far it's, let me go back to show you guys. Where is it? There it is. Got a lot of banners. Let me go back to show you the overall. So it looks like Duel of the Fates is going to be the first one that we will be adding. I think I would have to say Annie versus Obi. So we got 1, 2, 3 for Duel of the Fates, 2 for Annie versus Obi, 1 for Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I would say we could definitely go with Duel of the Fates as, oh, we got another chat. Got to put Mustafar Duel at 1. Okay, so there's Duel of the Fates is tied now. Stone just tied Duel of the Fates. I'm in for Duel of the Fates. Annie versus Obi. Duel of the Fates is Tyler, Connor, Brian, Annie versus Obi is Eternal Mother, me, and Stoned. So if someone could break, because we have 9 people in here, do you like Duel of the Fates, Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi, or do you think Anakin versus Obi, the last duel on Mustafar, is the one to go with? And I think this will be the tiebreaker. Whoever lets us know. Why didn't Amidala just put some laxative in Anakin's food to slow his roll for a while? Honestly, right? She could have just had 3PO do that when he stopped by after he murked the Jedi Temple. You're hilarious, Christina. That's so funny. Christina, let us know. What do you think? Duel of the Fates or Anakin versus Obi? Tyler is dying at Christina's comment. That is pretty funny, Christina. Good one. Christina, let us know what you think. BR, because we're tied. We need someone to break the Duel of the Fates or Annie versus Obi before we can move on, so I can fully enter this into the into our ranking. And thanks everyone for being here. I really do appreciate you all for hanging out on a Friday night. Really means a lot. Thanks so much. This is so much fun, and I've been wanting to do a live lightsaber ranking with a live poll, so this is pretty cool. I think it's a tie. Okay. All right. Well, for now we will say it's a tie. That's a good point, Mama C. We should move on. So we'll do Duel of the Fates plus Annie versus Obi as someone chance cube. Anyone? I know, right? Someone give me a chance cube. But yeah, for now we'll just put Duel of the Fates and Annie versus Obi as a tie. Oh, Stone says he just so happens to have a chance cube here. Actually, yeah. Blue the boy, red the mother. Christina says, wait, did I miss Maul's fight? That's my favorite. The music and makeup is epic. I don't think that guy was a human actor either. You're hilarious, Christina. Darth Maul definitely was not human. He is a alien, and he is a badass one, to say the least. So Christina goes for Duel of the Fates. So we're going to change that to Duel of the Fates #1. And then we're going to go with #2, I'm guessing Annie versus Obi. Because I think that was the next one. 3 for Annie versus Obi, 2 for Duel of the Fates. Sweet. Right on. Dathomirian, yes, exactly. Thank you so much, Tyler. He's a Dathomirian alien. And let's bring up the master list here. All right, so we got #1, Duel of the Fates, 2, Annie versus Obi. Who, or what battle, I should say, is next on the list here? What do you folks think? Is it Obi-Wan versus Vader from A New Hope? Is it Luke versus Vader from Return of the Jedi? A very impactful lightsaber battle, and one of the ones where Luke actually stops fighting and refuses to fight and turn to the dark side. There's Rue. Hey, Rue. There's the dog back there making some noises, if you could hear her. All right, checking with chat here. Yep, so Duel of the Fates, that's right. Luke versus Vader, ROTJ. Okay. So we got 1 from Tyler. We have Mama C. We got Eternal Mother, Luke versus Vader. So 2 for Luke versus Vader. Let me pull up the master list again. After that one, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna also go with Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi. Brian goes for #3, Obi versus Vader, A New Hope. Okay. All right, so 1 versus Obi versus Vader from A New Hope. Okay. So we got 3. for Return of the Jedi. Connor, Luke versus Vader. All right, so that's 4 for Luke versus Vader from Return of the Jedi. Very impactful, meaningful duel between father and son. I have the wrong image pulled up. So a lot of people so far are voting Luke versus Vader from a Return of the Jedi. So far, that's going to be the winner. Unless we have 11 people in here. We are currently talking about lightsaber battles, and we are ranking them. Right now, we're talking about, let me go to the master list. All 10 of these different lightsaber battles for you folks who are just joining us. We now have 11 people in here total. Right on. Thanks for joining us on your Friday night. And we're ranking these. So far we have, as far as the rankings go, it's Duel of the Fates first, and then Annie versus Obi. And now a lot of people are going for Return of the Jedi, Luke versus Vader. So let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll give it another minute here or so before I update the master list. And thank you again, everyone, for hanging out on your Friday night. It really does mean a lot. This is so much fun to be able to do this. And I hope everyone is enjoying themselves and having a fun time in the chat. So, all right. This is where the fun begins. Not. All right, so I think number 3 goes to Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi. You know, it was supposed to be called Revenge of the Jedi, actually, at one point, but they changed it to Return of the Jedi. So, all right, cool. Updated our list here. We have a new updated list. Where did it go? There we go. Duel of the Fates, Annie versus Obi, and now Luke versus Vader. Yeah, Luke versus Vader. Okay. Tyler said he was just going to say that. Yep, thank you. Okay. So, next one we have is... What are we going to do for our next one? And Luke's lightsaber was blue. Let me see here. I lost my place. Okay, there's the master list. So next up is so I kind of lost track. 3, so we're on number 4 now. Okay, so what's left is Windu versus Palpatine, Obi versus Vader, A New Hope, Luke versus Vader, Empire Strikes Back, Yoda versus Sidious, Dooku versus Yoda, Annie plus Obi versus Dooku, and then Kylo versus Rey. So what's number 4? What do we think is numero 4? Christina asks, if all of them fought against each other, who would win? That is a great question. Honestly, it depends. I think... Oh, we got Tyler saying ESB, and yes, Carl, your chat is working, bud. Thanks for double checking, but yes, it is working. Christina, if they all fought, it depends on which era, but probably like Darth Vader in his prime would be the one to win out of a lot of these characters. So we have one for Luke versus Vader and Empire Strikes Back, Obi versus Vader in A New Hope. Connor says Maul would win out of all of them. So Christina, your boy Darth Maul would win, Connor says, if they all fought against each other. And then Tyler is just double checking that Carl's chat is working, and it is. So we got Obi versus Vader, Luke versus Vader, ESB. I would say, honestly, Windu versus Palpatine, just because if Windu would have defeated Palpatine, which he did, but like actually fully killed him, the galaxy would have been way different. So I'm going for my number 4 as Windu versus Palps. Connor, Obi versus Vader. So we got another for Obi versus Vader. And Gen X Brian, Obi versus Vader in New Hope. All right. Nice. So we got 3 people for Obi versus Vader, 1 for Luke versus Vader, ESB, and then my choice is Windu versus Palpatine. So pretty cool there. And it looks like if we only give it an extra, we're almost down to the minute here, 6:12 now. I'd say just so we can move this along a little faster, that Obi versus Vader takes the cake. So let me add this to the master list. Boom. Obi versus Vader, A New Hope. That's done deal. That's number 4. So here's our current updated list. Duel of the Fates 1, Annie versus Obi. 2, 3 is Luke versus Vader, and 4 is Boy versus Vader. That's not right. Sorry about that. Obi versus Vader. There we go. So that's our current standing here. We have 5 left, or we have 6 left. Let's go back to the master list. So, Windu versus Palpatine. We got Yoda versus Sidious. Luke versus Vader, Empire Strikes Back. Dooku versus Yoda. Anakin plus Obi-Wan versus Dooku, and Kylo versus Rey. What do we think is number 5? Again, here is the updated list. This is our ranking in order now. What is number 5 going to be? Number 5. All right, we got 9 people. Now we got 10 people in here. Thanks, everyone, for coming in and hanging out during the episode 3 of Hyperspace Hangout. I'm your host, Jacob. Appreciate everyone for hanging out tonight. Means a lot. Okay, for number 5, Connor says Kylo versus Rey. And for number 5, Eternal Mother, she says Yoda versus Sidious. Yep. Okay. So 1 for Yoda versus Sidious. Number 5, Kylo versus Rey. So we got 2 for Kylo versus Rey at our number 5. Gen X Brian, Luke versus Vader, Empire Strikes Back. And I throw my vote out for, again, Windu versus Palpatine. Because, again, I think that duel, if Palpatine would have lost, which he did, but fully gotten, the kibosh, then the galaxy would have been vastly different. I'm just throwing that out there. So keep that in mind. Tyler's dying laughing. Carl says Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku. Massive fight for Anakin being humbled. Yep, exactly. Anakin was surely humbled. Lost his arm, actually. And Dooku just totally made a fool out of both of them, kind of. Christina asks, Dream Universe says, would the highest count midichlorian count win in all these guys? Okay, so the Anakin has the highest midichlorian count technically. So him, Anakin, but Darth Vader is more powerful. Anakin is Darth Vader, even though Anakin died when Darth Vader became. Anyway, so yes, I would say Anakin Darth Vader would have the highest midichlorian count. Yoda's up there for sure. Palpatine's up there. Luke Skywalker's up there. But technically, if you want with the highest midichlorian count, it's Anakin Skywalker. Dream Universe, to answer your question. So we got 2 for Kylo versus Rey. Oh, Connor says Kylo versus Rey is number 1. Wahahaha. You're so funny, Connor. So yeah, 2 versus Kylo versus Rey, Sidious, Brian, Luke versus Vader, and I'm still going Windu versus Palpatine. So right now, technically, we got 10 people in here. If anybody else wants to chime in, we're talking about our lightsaber duels ranked, lightsaber battles ranked. This is our ranking so far. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. The last one, Obi versus Vader, we're on number 5. And chat so far is saying Kylo versus Rey is next as far as the next best battle. So Prime Anakin would mop the floor with everyone. Exactly. That is exactly right, Stoned. And also, Stoned, let us know what you think, dude, as far as what you think the next ranking in the battle should be. We have our master list here. So we're on number 5. What should that be? Number 5. And I'll show here's our current ranking right now, just so you can kind of piece that together if you want. And back to the master list. After he became Vader, he was about 80% strong as Darth Sidious. Yeah, he was limited by his cybernetic suit. For those of you who don't know, Darth Sidious made Darth Vader's cybernetic suit very painful and very uncomfortable and very limiting as far as his hearing and his vision. But he was still very powerful with the Force. And like Stone is saying, after he became Vader, he was about 80% as strong as Darth Sidious. So, Stoned, if you can, let us know what you think, bud, as far as the next ranking for the sabers go, bud. Right now we are on number 5, and we have 2 for Kylo Ren, 1 for ESB Luke Vader, and I said Palpatine Windu. I think that list is solid so far, man. Okay, cool. Right on. I'm glad you think so too. Well, so far, if we wanted to go with what Chad is saying, number 5 is Kylo versus Rey. So again, this is in order from best to worst. And this is our current list here. Duel of the Fates, Annie versus Obi, Luke versus Vader, 4, Obi versus Vader, A New Hope. So if you guys are thinking it, Palpatine versus Windu, I think that's what my vote is. So we got 2 for Palpatine Windu, 2 for Kylo versus Rey, and 1 for Luke versus Vader ESB. So right now, we're tied. And that's fine. But let's see if we can get someone else to jump in. We got 9 people in here. Let's see if we can get another person to break the tie. The tie being Palpatine and Windu, or Kylo Ren versus Rey. What do you think, people in the chat? And we've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes. So again, thanks to everyone who's been hanging out the entire time. I really do appreciate you hanging out on the Hyperspace Hangout on your Friday night. It means a lot. Palpatine and Windu. Boom. There goes the tie. Palpatine and Windu is number 5. All right. Sweet. Right on. Thank you, Connor, for breaking the tie there. So this is our current list here. Oh, there we go. Duel of the Fates, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Palpatine versus Windu. So, all right. So next up we got, I would say, probably Luke versus Vader, Empire Strikes Back. That was a pretty pivotal fight, a pretty pivotal lightsaber battle. Yoda versus Sidious is still on the block. Dooku versus Yoda. Also Anakin plus Obi-Wan versus Dooku. And then we also have Kylo versus Rey. So we are halfway done. There's 10 total, and we have 5. So what do y'all think next? Who do we have? I will go through the pictures again here. Anakin versus Obi, Palpatine Windu, Vader Obi-Wan. Actually, I think this one we still need to add on to the list. We already added on Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi. We've done Duel of the Fates. We haven't done ESB yet, so that needs to be added on. This needs to be added on too, as well as this one and this one. All right. ESB, I'm standing on the OT hill till the end. Brian, I'm joining you on Luke versus Vader ESB. So we got 2 votes for Luke versus Vader ESB in the chat. That is pretty freaking awesome. I think that is going to be the one to go next, honestly. But we'll just have to see from the chat. LOL, Brian. True, though. Exactly. Vader versus Palpatine is my emotional favorite. Are you talking about it like at the end when Vader throws Palpatine over the edge? Because that is pretty impactful and pretty important. Luke versus Vader ESB. Yep. He says he's biased to this too, though. Yeah, but I mean, we are getting down to the last 5, and I think as far as the other battles go, they're not quite as impactful as Luke versus Vader in Empire Strikes Back. Right? He finds out it's his dad. He loses his hand, so he has to come to terms with that. And I think that fight is pretty important. And Eternal Mother says Luke versus Vader. So there is 4 for Luke versus Vader. I think no matter what we say, that's going to take the cake. So number 6 goes to Luke versus Darth Vader. Return of the Jedi. All right. Very nice. So we're getting down to the last couple here. We have Stone says, I feel you, Jacob. You're totally spitting. That ESB Vader and Luke was very significant. Yep, absolutely, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. So this is our current ranking. We got 1 through 6. Last one, number 6, being Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi. Sorry, ESB. My bad. There we go. So that's our current ranking at the moment. Duel of the Fates is number 1. Anakin versus Obi 2. Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi 3. Obi versus Vader, A New Hope number 4. Palpatine versus Windu 5. And then Luke versus Vader 6. So we got 3 more. We got basically Yoda versus Sidious, Dooku versus Yoda. And did I forget Kylo and... We got 4 more. Sorry about that. My mistake. 4 more. So Yoda versus Sidious, Dooku versus Yoda, Annie plus Obi versus Dooku, and Kylo versus Rey. So here is Yoda versus Sidious, Anakin plus Obi versus Dooku, and Kylo versus Rey. All right. Yoda versus Dooku, says Carl. All right. Okay. Yep. I think Carl is spitting. That's a pretty interesting fight, honestly. 2 powerful Force users, and then breaking out their lightsabers. 2 powerful lightsaber duelists. So, Stone says Dooku was sick because the first time we saw Yoda in combat. Yeah, that's true. Dooku versus Yoda was cool because it was the first time we saw Yoda in combat. Actually, that is very true. Yoda versus Sidious, definitely one of my favorites. Kind of agree with Carl. Stone says he agrees. And Connor is going for Kylo versus Rey. All right, Connor. Very nice. And then Stone says that the Sidious versus, I'm guessing, Yoda battle is close too, though. And I do agree there. It is close. So we have Yoda versus Dooku, Yoda versus Sidious, and a Kylo versus Rey. So, I'm going to have to say Yoda versus Sidious just because it is a little bit more of a. It's got a little bit more of a weight to it that battle goes. Really, Yoda is trying to end the Sith, and so is Obi-Wan. That's why they path parts. Yoda takes Sidious, Obi-Wan takes Darth Vader, aka Anakin. So I would say Yoda versus Sidious. So I'm going to have to agree with Brian there. And Stone says Dooku versus Yoda. The stakes are way higher. True. Yeah, very true. So 2 for Yoda versus Sidious, 1 Kylo versus Rey, and then Carl says Yoda versus Dooku. Okay. So far 2 for Yoda Sidious. Yoda Sidious is 2 so far. So here is the master list. We only have a couple left. This is number 7. Number 7. All right. Give it another minute here, another 30 seconds or so in the chat so you guys can come up and see what you think. Stakes are higher for Sidious and Yoda. Yep. That's true. Okay. So that must be Stone's vote, is Sidious versus Yoda. If so, we have 3 Sidious versus Yoda. And then we have a Kylo Rey and a Dooku versus Yoda. All great choices, by the way. All great choices. Let's see. Yep, that's my vote, homie. All right, cool. So final on that is number 7, Yoda versus Sidious. And now we're down to our last 3. So let's get into... Oh, we got a chat here. Need the Jeopardy theme, I know, right? What is Darth Sidious? Okay. So Dooku versus Yoda, Annie plus Obi versus Dooku, and Kylo versus Rey. What do we think? Let's go. I know, down to the final 3. What do we think? This is our current master list. So again, you got Dooku versus Yoda, Annie versus Obi versus Dooku, Annie plus Obi versus Dooku, sorry, and then Kylo versus Rey. And then this is our ranking list so far. And thanks to everyone for hanging out tonight. We got 11 people in the chat. We've been going for about an hour and a half, so I really appreciate it. Mama C says, Eternal Mother says, I'm eating dinner, but she's listening. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed dinner. And Dream Universe asks, who has the most powerful lightsaber in all these battles? Well, honestly, all of the lightsabers are pretty much the same in regards to power. However, there is a double-bladed lightsaber like Darth Maul. And there's also like lightsaber staffs that like the Jedi Sentinels use. So I would just say like pretty much any standard lightsaber would do. It's up to the user of the lightsaber. But you know, that Darth Maul, your boy Darth Maul, Christina, is pretty iconic with his dual-bladed lightsaber. So I would say Darth Maul has a very cool lightsaber. It may not be the most powerful. Yoda versus Dooku. I would say that is probably next for me as well, Brian. Yoda versus Dooku. I agree with Brian. He's spitting. So next up is Yoda versus Dooku for me and Brian. And we have 3 more spots to fill. We are on number 8 right now. This is our master list, this is our ranking list here. And number 7 is Yoda versus Sidious. So right now we have 8, 9, 10. We have Dooku versus Yoda, Anakin plus Obi-Wan versus Dooku, and Kylo versus Rey. So we just need someone else to drop in one of their choices so that we can see where this list lies. Hope everyone's having an awesome Friday night. Really appreciate you for being here, hanging out with us tonight on the Hyperspace Hangout. And Stone says Yoda versus Dooku. All right, so 3 for Yoda versus Dooku. Connor goes for Kylo versus Rey for his number 8 spot. And we haven't given it enough time. I think Yoda versus Dooku does take the cake. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the ranking list. Number 8. As Yoda versus Dooku. And that leaves us at spot number 9. Spot number 9. And Stone says, I like some different answers, makes it interesting. Yes, it absolutely does. That Kylo versus Rey fight was fun to watch, so totally agree with you, Connor. I think that'll probably be maybe one of the next ones, but different answers makes it interesting for sure. And Carl says he's representing currently at in the UK at it's 2:30 a.m. on a Saturday here, so he is up late hanging out, talking Star Wars with everyone, and having a great time, hopefully. Again, Carl Newton, appreciate you being here, my friend, and first time seeing your name in the chat, so again, welcome. Thanks again for your time. So, looks like the next one that we have is either Anakin plus Obi-Wan versus Dooku or Kylo Ren versus Rey at number 9. Which fight is more impactful? Which fight is more pivotal? Which one has more stakes to it? Because Dooku really cleaned up Anakin versus Obi-Wan, like, honestly, rather quickly. Kylo versus Rey, kind of a little bit more of a drawn-out fight, right? Maybe less quick-paced. Connor, Kylo versus Rey. He's dying on that Kylo Rey hill. All right, so we got 1 for Kylo versus Rey. Next up, we'll see who puts in their vote. I'm honestly not sure. I'm still trying to think about it, like genuinely, logistically think about the battle. If I had to, honestly, the Kylo versus Rey is more of a lightsaber battle. The Obi-Wan versus Dooku versus Anakin is a quick battle just because Anakin gets the lightning fingers right away, so he's incapacitated. Obi-Wan is the one who takes on Count Dooku for a second until he gets injured, and then Anakin comes in and saves Obi. And Brian says Kylo versus Rey. Kylo versus Rey. So there's 2 for Kylo versus Rey. I am going to agree. Kylo versus Rey. Yep. Christina, epic live. I mean battle. Thank you, Christina. I'm glad you're enjoying the live so far. I hate that Obi and Annie got their asses handed to them. They really did. And Count Dooku made very quick work of them, just lickety split. So I think Kylo versus Rey is a good one. We got 3 for Kylo versus Rey. So I'll give it another 30 seconds here, and we'll see if anyone has anything else to add. Stone says, yeah, Dooku didn't even sweat either of them. 100%. 100%. He made very quick work of them, and luckily Yoda was there to save them because they would have gotten smashed. So this is the last ranking, because obviously after we choose number 9, number 10 falls right into place after that. So choose wisely. This is the last lightsaber ranking. Christina says, what's your topic for the next live so I can do my homework? Honestly, I haven't come up with a topic yet. I was thinking of maybe reviewing the movies, or reviewing like Andor, like one of the cool Star Wars TV shows. It's really good, by the way. If you haven't seen Andor, go check that out. That's phenomenal. I was also thinking of maybe comparing like Black Series toys to like Hot Toys. I only have one hot toy, I promise. But I think that would be pretty cool. So we'll have to see. But we'll let you know, Christina. We'll let you know what the live's going to be on so you can do your homework next time. And Brian says, by the way, that Gree helmet looks awesome. We got Commander Gree right here chilling with us as well. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. I got that helmet from Connor Colarusso. So shout out to Connor Colarusso for the Commander Gree helmet. Thank you, Connor. Hence, that fight should have been higher because its impact on Annie's arc. Ah, I see, Carl. I must have missed that, my friend. I definitely missed that. This is our current ranking, Carl, just so you can see. We got Duel of the Fates at 1 and 8 at Yodo versus Dooku. But sorry I missed your vote there if I did, buddy. Stone says, only one for now. Maybe. Oh, man. Stone, you're too funny, man. Carl says, teasing that Gree, I'm as green as it is. Commander Gree, the green horn. All right. So, what do we think? We have, I believe, Kylo versus Rey on this one. Does anybody else want to throw in their vote? We got 13 people in here. We are on our last lightsaber battle ranking. Number 9 will take the spot, and number 10 will fall into place right after. We have, last but not least, Anakin plus Obi-Wan versus Dooku, and Kylo Ren versus Rey. Let's see what the comments. Kylo versus Rey. Boom, there it is. And then 10 is Annie, Obi, versus Dooku. All right. So, everyone, we've made it to our final. This is your Hyperspace Hangout live chat poll lightsaber battle ranking. We have Duel of the Fates at number 1. Anakin plus his... cannot speak tonight. Anakin versus Obi-Wan at number 2. Luke versus Vader at number 3. That's the Return of the Jedi battle. Number 4, Obi-Wan versus Vader from A New Hope. 5, Palpatine versus Windu. Number 6, Luke versus Vader, Empire Strikes Back. 7, Yoda versus Darth Sidious. Number 8, Yoda versus Dooku. 9, Kylo Ren versus Rey. And 10, Anakin plus Obi-Wan versus Count Dooku. Right on, everyone. We did it. We did the Star Wars lightsaber battles ranked. That is awesome. Couldn't have done it without help from the chat here. So thanks, everyone, for helping vote on what our favorite lightsaber battle was. And we got Dream Universe saying Palpatine returning through clones is pretty much what's happening in this planet right now. Spittin'. Christina is straight up spittin'. So that's our lightsaber battles ranked there, everybody. We did it. I can't believe it. That is freaking amazing. So thanks again for everyone for helping get those lightsaber battles ranked. I'm glad we have more of a feel on what everybody's kind of liking out there and what they think is the best battle. I definitely agree Duel of the Fates, as the name implies, is one of the best battles, as it has a huge amount of stakes for the galaxy and Anakin Skywalker. So, all right. With that being said, we have made it to our recent pickup segment. Recent pickups is when I show off some of the most recent figures that I've got from the Black Series line or otherwise. And I haven't been doing much shopping, actually, at all. So, no toy hunting. Where I live, there's not much toy hunting to begin with. And yeah, I have already kind of showed it off a little bit during the stream, but I guess I'll just get into it. We got recent pickups is Dagon Gera from the Jedi Survivor video game. That's Dagon Gera there. He's got a double-bladed lightsaber. He did bleed his lightsaber from yellow to red and embraced the dark side after waking up from his stasis in a Bacta tank after a very long time. So he's part of the Gaming Greats line, Dagon Gera is, and here he is. There's the Dagon Gera figure. Looks really, really cool. He is a Gendon, his species. He is a Gendon, Dagon Gera, the Gendon. So he's got kind of gray skin, and I don't know if you could see on the very bottom, but it's got like, there's like lines on his skin. He comes with one arm. He got the other arm chopped off by Suntari Kree, that is in the Jedi Survivor video game. If you haven't played that game, it's really good. Not as good as Jedi Fallen Order, in my opinion, but still a really fun game to play. And so Dagon comes with his double-bladed lightsaber, but the best part is he comes with the sculpted hood and cape. So I really like this. I'm not a soft goods guy. You can still move him around really well. You know, his hair does kind of sit inside of the cape down there, just like so. So his articulation is still good. You can still move him around really well. Let's see. Oops, shaking the camera there. Let's see. He can do the splits. He can kick up pretty far, like so. And yeah, overall, just thought he was a really cool character in the video game and wanted some representation of him on my shelf. So figured I would pick up Dagon Gera, and I'm really liking it so far. I hope that other figures come with more of the hard goods, cape, hard goods kind of robe style that Dagon Gera has. So yeah, if you haven't picked up Dagon Gera, maybe go check him out. If you haven't played Jedi Survivor, definitely go check out that video game. It's available, I think, on Xbox, PlayStation, and the newer consoles as well. So anyway, that's my recent pickup. I just have one this week, just something really quick, really fast. I showed it off when I was the guest on Out of the Basement. So you might have already seen this recent pickup if you got to see that Out of the Basement episode. So that's my recent pickup. Carl says that he needs to finish Survivor. Definitely worth finishing because it does have, well, I won't tell you about the ending, but definitely worth finishing, Carl. I would recommend it. I played it on a PS4 and the graphics were a little subpar. I love playing the first Last of Us game, so I'm not complaining about older graphics. That's totally fine. But I would imagine if you had a PlayStation 5 or one of the newer Xboxes that it would be even better. So definitely go out there, Carl, and finish Survivor, my friend. You would love it. I already know. And we have reached the very end of the show. We have reached the end. We are at our Hyperspace Hangout Tatooine talk, aka the end of the show discussion. So, Carl says that he's in Series X. So yes, we are basically just gonna kind of turn it over to the chat, see what everybody's been into lately, Black Series wise. Does anyone have any recent pickups that they'd like to discuss? Black Series figures, lightsabers, helmets. Is anybody watching any fun shows, Star Wars or otherwise? Let me know. Let's turn it over to the chat now. We are in the tail end of the show, Tatooine talk, end of show discussion here. So let's see what the chat has to say. And we still got 11 people in here. Thank you to everyone for hanging out on your Friday night. Really means a lot. We've gone over some really fun segments here today. We went over some Black Series news, kind of recapped some recent leaks that Lukeness Monster just actually dropped a couple hours ago. Well, now maybe like 4 or 5 hours ago. And we went over the Star Wars fan stream news. So we went over, Moff Gideon's coming out. We got the Praetorian Guard. We've got Cassian Andor coming out. Director Orson Krennic. We have a Count Dooku, Kit Fisto, R2-D2 in the Revenge of the Sith packaging. And then the last leak was the Black Series 501st Legion helmet. And then we just finished ranking our lightsaber battles. And this was our lightsaber battle ranking, number 1 through 10. We ranked the movies. So like Stone said, for now we're done with that, but maybe we'll do like the Clone Wars battles ranked, like top 5 Clone Wars battles sometime. So anyway, we're still in Tatooine talk, end of show discussion. Anybody been watching some cool shows, Star Wars or otherwise? Got any cool toys or figures, action figures from other lines? Connor says the show Servant was pretty good. What was that about, Connor? Who stars in Servant? I'd be interested to know more about that. What platform is it on? Is it available on Netflix, HBO, Paramount, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus? That's right, I said Plus, not Plus. Disney Plus. Carl says, does anyone have any room tour videos? My own is up on my YouTube, my only vid, done just before Christmas. Nice, Carl, right on. I'm going to have to go and I will check out your room tour video. I love room tour videos, especially folks who have larger collections. I don't have a huge collection. I have, I think, like just over 30 figures right now. I'm still new to collecting. So I know that Gen X Brian, if he's still in the chat, Carl does drop some cool videos, especially he'll do like bundles. Like I think the next bundle he's unveiling is his Return of the Jedi figures that he's accumulated over, I think, like probably like five years or a decade of collecting. So Gen X Brian, you can check out his channel. I think he has a lot of cool stuff like that, as well as the Stoned Mandalorian. The Stoned Mandalorian will also have some like kind of room tour, shelf tour videos. Dream Universe Christina says, amazing live. Thank you. You're a pro. Well, thank you for tuning in, Christina. I really appreciate just dropping by. Always great to see you and chat. And hope you're having a great night over there. And don't forget to watch some Star Wars out in your free time if you have access to it. So Carl says he just started collecting the Jada Street Fighter figs. I've heard about those, man. Those I've heard are really cool. Which one is your favorite, Carl? I'd be interested to know, my man. The Street Fighter figures. Carl's been collecting those. And Connor says, Servant is made by or directed by M. Night Shyamalan, Apple TV and Amazon Prime. Okay, well, I do have access to Amazon Prime, Connor, so I think I'll have to jump on Amazon Prime and check out Servant, because M. Night Shyamalan, what did he make? That movie with Bruce Willis, Sixth Sense. That was a killer movie from M. Night Shyamalan. Connor says, awesome stream, man. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate you. It's great to see you. Glad you're feeling better. And again, your Blurg video was killer, so I'm going to have to grab Blurg. You sucked me in, man. Great, we'll check those. Okay, cool. Right on, Carl. I have been watching Andor. Been loving it. It's killer. Probably one of the best Star Wars TV shows out on Disney Plus now, and that new season, second season, is dropping April 22nd. So keep an eye out for that. That will be really cool. Andor season 2. I've also been watching a show called Yellow Jackets, and that's been really fun too. It's kind of got like horror vibes, a little bit of black comedy. That's been a pretty fun show to watch. There's new episodes that drop every Friday on Paramount Plus. So after this stream, I'm going to get some Yellow Jackets on and check out the brand new episode. And Connor says, oh, dude, we watched Yellow Jackets. Nice. Right on, man. Really cool show. Very interesting, very entertaining. And interested to see where they go with the storyline. So glad you're watching Yellow Jackets and that you are enjoying it as well. Eternal Mother says, great live. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for being here, Eternal Mother. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We are at the tail end of the show, so we will wrap up pretty soon here. And Carl Newton says, Christina Ricci. Yes, agreed. Absolutely. Her character is one of the best parts of the show, for sure. Her character, Misty, that she plays. Christina Ricci plays Misty in Yellow Jackets. And she's hilarious. She's so funny. And she's quickly becoming my favorite and most anticipated character to watch. So we're going to watch the new episode after this too. Right on. Hey, great minds think alike, Connor. Great minds think alike. Very excited for the new episode. Dream Universe says, Servant reminds me of my past situationships. I'll watch it next good recommendation. The Feed and Lawnmower Man are also epic. Two other shows or movies Christina recommends are The Feed and Lawnmower Man. Right on. Okay, I'll have to check those out, Christina. Thanks for the recommendation. That's awesome. Servant sounds like a movie that a lot of the chat likes. So if you haven't checked out Servant and like M. Night Shyamalan, that director, go and check out that movie Servant. What else do we have coming down the pipeline? We have The Last of Us 2, as we're continuing to talk television. The Last of Us 2, I believe, drops sometime in April as well. So you'll be able to catch The Last of Us Season 2 and Andor coming out in April, which is pretty awesome. And then for those of you who are fans of House of the Dragon or the Game of Thrones universe, I think we have House of the Dragon hopefully coming out in the summer maybe. So Connor says, so excited for Last of Us. I know, man. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be phenomenal. The first season was really good. I liked it at least. And we'll have to see how Bella Ramsey plays Ellie. And the actor that plays Abby. And yeah, I'm sure they'll do a great job with it. I think it's going to be divided up into 2 seasons. So we'll get like the first part of the season 2, and then next year we'll get the last part of season 2 or something like that. So Gen X Brian, love Christina Ricci and Addams Family. I'm old. Christina Ricci, Addams Family is classic, timeless show. I didn't know Christina Ricci was in it though. That is pretty freaking awesome. She is great. I'm just discovering Christina Ricci. I know that she was really big in the 90s. So, yeah, she's still kicking butt as an actor, and she's been great in Yellow Jackets. So that's too funny that she used to be in Addams Family, though. So he says, I'm old. No, Gen X, Brian, you're not old. Right on. Well, hey, we've almost gone for 2 hours. We've been going for an hour and 53 minutes. We still have 11 people in here. Just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone. It's been a great stream. We went over a lot of fun stuff. Again, we went over some Black Series leaks at the beginning. We have, keep an eye out. I'll just kind of rehash what we went over real quick. A new Anakin Skywalker, a new Cal Kestis with a handlebar mustache, which is just hilarious and awesome. Will it have a mullet? We don't know yet. Will it also be in a 2-pack with Marin? Maybe. A Jango Fett, as well as a brand new Star Wars Black Series vehicle rumored in the line. It's just called Star Wars Black Series Virgo. So we'll have to see and wait what that will be later on. I'm sure they'll keep us updated soon with that. We did some Star Wars fan stream news. We had Moff Gideon. He's being released next week. He'll be on pre-order, as well as the Praetorian Guard, Cassian Andor, and Director Krennic. Those will all be available next week to be pre-ordered at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have Count Dooku coming in the Revenge of the Sith packaging, Kit Fisto, and R2-D2 as well. Those will be a Walmart exclusive, and that will be in the Revenge of the Sith blister packaging, the same one that the Commander Cody is being released in pretty soon here. The last fan stream news was the Black Series 501st Legion Clone Trooper helmet, which will be dropping hopefully sometime in spring. This was your live chat's Hyperspace Hangout recap of our lightsaber battles ranked, number 1 through 10. So we did that. And we did some recent pickups and also debated a little bit of soft goods versus non-soft goods. So that's kind of a recap of the stream. If you'd like to check out the replay, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much to everyone for hanging out tonight. It's been really, really fun. I'm already looking forward to the next stream in a couple weeks. Catch new streams every Friday. I did move it from Thursdays to Fridays just because there was a big channel that were doing live streams every Thursday night, and wanted to see if we'd get a little bit more engagement this evening, and it seems that we have. So we've gotten up to, I think, 12 people. There's 11 people still in here. Thanks so much, everyone, for hanging out on your Friday night with us. It's been really, really great. Catch brand new content from me, Star Wars Collective. My name is Jacob, by the way. If you don't know me, hello. And you can catch new content from Star Wars Collective, shorts Mondays and Fridays, and then Black Series videos on Wednesdays, and live streams are every other Friday. So catch the next live stream coming up. I don't have my calendar here, but it'll be in March. So I'll see you next month, everyone. Really appreciate your time. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and may the Force be with you. Until the next time we meet, my name is Jacob, aka Star Wars Collective. Bye-bye.